It's finale day of the Emily Awards. I've got my little Santa headband on. I borrowed that from Biddy. Should have known it probably wasn't going to show for a lot of the video, but it's there. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is a really fun part of the Emily Awards where we get to round up a lot of different categories that don't necessarily get included in the face, eyes, and lips, but then we also name MVPs, most valuable products, in the face, eye, and lip category, so you'll want to see that as well. But yeah, the Emily Awards have been so much fun this year. I feel like there have been so many really great favorites. Something I love about this series is that we don't just look at what are we loving now, what are we loving that's new, but every year it kind of gets assessed in the context of things I loved last year and maybe several years prior, and will that product continue to carry the torch or will something new take over? It's fun. I also have this shirt on, which I know I have worn in a lot of finale videos, and so I felt like keeping that tradition alive today as well. So we're going to kick things off with the category of best brush, and this year I feel like it's definitely Morphe's new release of brushes, these white brushes that they put out. Remember, I did a whole video on the whole line and then kind of boiled that video down to the things that I really like best from the line, and this video we're probably boiling it down even more to like 3 total gems that came from that new collection, and the top 2 really being these little flat brushes. I'm talking about the Morphe M303, that's what I'm holding up right here. This is a brush everybody needs to be able to pack some shadow on their lid, and part of why this particular cut is so special is that it's just a little fluffy there at the end. It's not as stark and flat as an older Morphe brush that I used to use in that way, and it packs on well, but it will also tend to wedge that deeper shade right up into the crease where you want it to be with that little bit of fluff at the end. And then the M302 is that very same cut, just a little bit smaller size. So if you watch my tutorials, you know, like oftentimes the larger one gets used out here on the outside, and then when I want a brighter pop on the inside, for example, the glittery part of today's eye look, that's going on with the medium-sized brush. When we're talking a daily use item, absolutely, I'm using these every day. And another brush that I really loved from that whole set was this M132 concealer brush. So see how it's kind of chunky, but it's cut at an angle, and then furthermore, it's tapered just a little bit. It's not like a blunt cut, got a little taper, and it's just absolutely beautiful to get around this area. I'm a big fan of spreading out concealer before you ultimately like blend it in and work it into your skin. Doing a spread is very helpful. This is a great spreading type of brush. And I feel like in recent years, especially this past year, I've really tried to put a focus on affordability with my brushes, using things for the most part that don't tack on a great additional cost if you were wanting to not only get the product I used, but also a brush that I used. That we're using lots of Profusion, Morphe, e.l.f., Real Techniques. So I'm glad that these new brushes that I found and loved this year fall into that drugstore price range. Look at the mug I'm using today too, festive. You know what I'm realizing with the finale? I kind of do in this video try to name like more products of the year. For example, I know for must-have tool, I know the Shiseido Lash Curler has won that, and it is absolutely an essential thing for me. But I'm naming a must-have tool that maybe came to the forefront for me a little bit more this year, or just became a real like important priority product for me. I feel like as the year has gone on, my love for a good false lash has kind of come back, and part of why I stopped using them for a time was just I felt like I was getting irritation at my lash line. And then I got into this Dollar Tree $1.25 Ioni lash glue. This like opened up my world again. No irritation with this. Obviously it's super affordable, but like it goes on with the little wand applicator. You don't have to let it set super long for it to become tacky, and then it's not irritating my lash line. So I feel like I found a real winner here with this product, and it's like if lashes are something you want to wear for that special occasion, but you're like me and you might be a little sensitive at the lash line, you need something that's going to work well there, this has been a great option for me. And I'm not wearing any false lashes today, but I'm kind of considering this product more like a tool than a makeup product, because like it's serving that function to adhere the lashes on, but you're not going to be like applying it as though it's makeup, you know? So I stuck that in the tool category, and it's literally the only lash glue I want to be using. I love this category for best dual purpose item. What's a product in your makeup routine where it's really effectively doing more than one thing for you? For me this year, I'm going to name the Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filters, which I wear in the shade 003 Light. So this can be glowy primer. This can really sub in for foundation. So apply it at the point in your routine where you would put foundation. Maybe you prime, you do this, you do a little concealer, and then you look at your skin and you're like, you know, that feels like enough. So for that function, how it could prime or it could do foundation, foundation, that feels like a valuable multitasker for me. And then also it can do a really pretty glow on top of the skin too, that's maybe a little more subtle than an all-out pure liquid highlighter. To top it all off, I feel like I have good staying power with this product. It actually wears well on my skin. Rimmel has been crushing it left and right with various products lately, and this one's just an awesome find. It's effectively doing more than one thing really well. The MVP for hair this year, and I'm not a big hair product person. I was just asked recently, like, what are you putting in your hair to style it? Like, honestly, as little as I can get by with. My hair is very like straight and fine, and I don't have tons and tons of it. I've learned that, you know, I'm gonna use some hairspray in it and that can help a little bit, but not tons of products. I use really affordable shampoos. I think right now I'm using a VO5 clarifying type of shampoo. It's doing great. It's giving me some body. I'm not having buildup. But the best thing for my hair, especially right now at this kind of in-betweener length where it's not super long, but it's not like a bob up here anymore, the 5 hot roller set. And it doesn't have to be this exact one. I'm not sure how readily accessible this is, but this is just a Conair 5-piece hot roller set. It comes with the clips, and I'll link to a video where you can see how I use them. But if you are anything like me and your hair's about my length and it's not super duper thick, you can totally get away with 5 jumbo rollers in there. We're putting 1 in the front, 1 right behind it, and then 1, 2, and 3 right in the middle of the lower back part of your head. So basically after those top 2, you're just dividing what's left into 3 rollers. It couldn't be quicker to put these in. I didn't put them in today because I knew I was going to be in headband mode today. I've been wearing them a lot more recently, and as one who showers at night also, even though my hair's super straight, sometimes you'll wake up in the morning after that and be like, yeah, there's a few little kinks in it here and there. And just putting these in, they're not rollers that's going to give you big old curls, but it's going to volumize and smooth and shape the hair. And hair of this length just really plays well with this set of rollers. I know I've used these when my hair was longer, and I also felt that kind of smoothing, volumizing effect, but especially now at this length. So these are having a little renaissance for me. This is my favorite kind of quick hot roller thing to reach for. Love an easy style out of these. It's the season for holiday events. Get you some jumbo hot rollers, and even if you can't find these, you can still use that technique with a full hot roller set. Like, you don't have to necessarily go out and buy something new. If you already have a set of jumbo hot rollers, just consider using 5 of them, you know? What can get intimidating is thinking that you have to fill your whole head with them. And I know there's different hair types out there who are like, 5 is unrealistic for me. And if that's your case, then I'm sorry. But this is what I'm leaning into this year as something that's worked so well for me hair-wise. For MVP for body products, I'm actually putting a nail product in this category. When I was going hard on nails all the time, I mean, I used to have a category every year in the Emily Awards for nails. And then I had 3 kids, and I felt like always keeping my nails done was completely unrealistic, and I became too overstimulated to have a lot of jewelry on, and it was just like, some things just kind of fell off, and I feel like I'm starting to maybe get them going again, you know? Accessorizing with beautiful pieces like this. But no, for nails, it's LA Colors all the way. LA Colors Gel. I was chatting with someone at the school the other day. I was just in the office. She was like, what's on your nails? And it was this, this dark shade. I don't have that dark shade on anymore. I guess it would have been on my nails throughout the rest of the Emily Awards videos. It's the shade called Vampy from the LA Colors Gel Polish line. The actual name is Color Craze Gel Extreme Shine Gel Light Polish. You're gonna find these at Walmart for less than $2. These are the polishes that are like kind of getting me back into wanting to do my nails, because I feel like, number one, they're affordable, and I'm kind of rebuilding a nail polish collection because a lot of the nail polishes I have are honestly very old. I can probably still use some of them, but like I opened up a few and I was like, oh, I think that's chunky in there. So I'm kind of building a collection of some basic shades that I love. And I like these polishes a lot. I really like 2 coats of it. They dry fairly quickly, and I've had exceptional staying power when I put some kind of a base coat on. I'm learning it's almost more about the base coat than the top coat. I have some of those Cure, K-U-R nail veil things, and if I put a coat of that underneath any of these colors, I feel like they last so much longer. Yes, it's that additional additional step, but it helps. So you might consider any base coat type of product that you have under one of these. But yeah, that shade Vampy was really cool. I love their pure red. That's called Fierce. Really good classic red. This mauve shade called Lingerie is absolutely beautiful. And right now I'm wearing my gateway to the line, the first one I ever bought, and it's called All Natural. And look, like keeping my nails painted makes me not bite them and pick at them. I feel like I have good, strong, hard nails. Yes, there's my unsightly scab where I burned myself, but I'm healing. Burned myself on the oven. I was trying to turn my corn casserole around and I like just bopped that hot top part of my oven. I was like, no. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. Keeping your nails done is kind of a habit change. And I think so often we feel like, oh, well, getting your nails done, that's an expense because you're going to a person to do it. You have to devote the time it takes to make appointments. And I'm over here thinking like, no, I can do this myself. I can enjoy it. I can have these nails hanging around for, you know, a week and a half, which is really good when you're constantly washing dishes, dealing with kids, cleaning your house, doing so much. I'll gladly take a week and a half of any number of these colors that I like. For MVP of skincare, last year I named my nighttime cleanser that I'm always using, which is the Vanicream Facial Cleanser. Very good, sensitive skin cleanser. If you need something that is not going to irritate your eczema, or you just feel like you've tried tons of products that don't agree with your skin, try Vanicream. Get into that brand. I use the daily facial moisturizer every day. I love that cleanser. I use the actual tub of moisturizing cream that pumps out. That's my daily and nightly eye cream. And also lately, ever since the grandma video, I've been working in cold cream more. And if I'm feeling like it, I'll slather that all over my face, kind of let it sit for a little bit. And then that Vanicream cleanser still comes in as the second step to really get me clean afterward. But these little guys, the little mini makeup erasers. And be advised, if you don't want to buy makeup eraser brand, I can often find packs of these at a place like Ross or TJ Maxx. Like I found a 10-pack of off-brand ones that work exactly as well. These cute little mini makeup erasers. There's nothing softer. I'm a kid who grew up with the Dove soap and just using an old school regular washcloth. And while those can be maybe nicely exfoliating at times, if you're in a skin sensitivity mode, they can be too rough. These are so soft. And the basic method that I'll use is get the Vanicream on all over the Vanicream cleanser. Get your skin damp, you're working that in, things are getting foamy, you're starting to work the makeup off. And I go down in the sink and I'm rinsing that off. And then there's usually like some stubborn eye makeup left. You never know what you didn't quite catch. And then I come in with one of these dampened, and this is going to take off absolutely everything else. No eye irritation. I have had eczema on my eyelids, no problem here. Okay, very, very gentle. And the way I work these in if I'm using cold cream is the cold cream has set there and you need a warm damp washcloth to like wipe that away. Use this as your warm damp washcloth and wipe away. And right there with that step, you have probably effectively gotten your eye makeup off, you've gotten everything off, but you're gonna cleanse with a pump of the Vanicream cleanser. And that's gonna be that second step cleanse because cold cream does leave quite a moisturizing residue, which you may or may not want. But these soft little mini claws, like an actual makeup eraser is quite a bit bigger than this, but these mini sets, you get them in a 7-pack, okay? So you can go through your whole week and wash them. I bought sets of these for my girls, like Belle has the princesses, Biddy has the villains, because you know Biddy's just like that. And even though they don't have hardly anything on their face, I encourage them to just dampen one of these with water and go over their face at the end of the day. That's really what a makeup eraser is touted to be able to do. I just, you know, wear a good amount of makeup and I feel like the addition of a cleanser helps me more. They're definitely sold as a just add water type of product. Now we're getting into the MVPs for face, eyes, and lips. So here I'm going back to my list of all the Emily Award winners for face, for example, and I'm looking through everything and I'm thinking, what was a big standout this year? Of all of these winners, what really is a super great product? And for me, for face this year, I'm going to give it to a foundation, a product that I feel I can really always count on. Something that's going to be so consistent, something that I've paired with countless different concealers or powders or primers. I feel like I'm just always going to get excellent wear out of it, and something that particularly agrees a lot with my 41-year-old skin. I feel like I've got good skin. I've never done anything to it, no Botox, no fillers, no operations, but still I can see little fine lines. I can tell when something's looking heavier than it needs to. And so here's where I'm going to give a shout out to this product right here, the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage. I wear the shade Sand Beige. I am wearing that today all over my skin. You talk about beautiful coverage in the thinnest possible texture. Really, really liquidy. If you've never used this, you're going to see the liquidy thing and think, oh, this is another one of those liquidy skin tint type of products. products, you know, just for seeing the texture of it. But then you start to streak that brush or that sponge across your skin and you're gonna say, oh, okay, this really has coverage. I love coverage. I like satisfying coverage. And then on top of it all, you guys know I want it to last all day. If I can't check myself for a touch-up, I want to trust that it's still probably looking really good. That is this product for me. And this is a product that I used years ago. As I've said with Catrice many times, I've had a bit of a renaissance with this brand this year. I've tried them again. I've tried new things, but I've made repurchases of older things and, you know, just really coming to terms with how great this foundation truly is for me. MVP for eyes, I always think it's a special thing when you're able to take a daily use high-end item and replace it with a drugstore thing. And when we can knock off a favorite that was high-end, and it probably seems like I'm totally hating on high-end. My friends, it's nice to have a drugstore favorite mascara, right? As a daily makeup user, a mascara is going to be probably your most repurchased thing, along with maybe a brow pencil. e.l.f. Lash Extender, a tubing mascara that I can wear on my lower lashes that is not gonna smudge, not gonna move. I'm wearing it on the upper lashes too today, just to show you guys that yes, it can function and do quite well on those upper lashes and hold that curl pretty darn well. But it's perfect for the lower lashes too, as a brush that's coming out of the tube, very nicely cleaned off. I don't want to look like I've got super thick, spidery lower lashes. This ends up going on so perfectly. And I loved Cali Ray. Cali Ray was a great product, but when the tube of Cali Ray would get a little age on it, it would oftentimes deposit more on my lashes. And that might seem counterintuitive, like how is it putting more on as it gets older? But the consistency was getting thicker, and that's why. Instead of a thin amount being able to be put on, you were getting more thickness on the lashes than necessary. And this just remains perfect. I've repurchased it. I love it. And you know, there are some people who have the transfer issue, not so much on the under part of the eye like I do, but more so on the above part of the eye with the upper lashes. I hear from people with hooded eyes who say the transfer is all happening above the eye. So this might be something to consider, because I really don't like having to pull in waterproof mascaras. Don't make me work so hard to get the stuff off and then look at my washcloth and see a few lashes on there and I'm like, I didn't have that many to begin with. I can't be losing more. We need something that removes easily. So the tubing mascara for the win there. Drugstore price range. Thank you, e.l.f. That's the winner. My MVP for lips, friends, I was looking over my list and I could have made a case for like 8 or 10 different things, but I chose something that has actually been a good multitasker and has been a great layering piece for a lot of different lip looks. Turning your average everyday lip into something long wear without feeling long wear. Talking about the e.l.f., the Sheer For It stains. This was a great release this year. Are they straight up copycatting Benefit? Formula-wise, yes, but they're giving it to us at an affordable price and the packaging is better than Benefit. Like I've said, we've got a great doe foot applicator, which makes that application so easy on cheeks and on lips, but then that funnel design in there, it's going to take your pure liquid product and get it right back down where it needs to be, down in here. I love them. I've had so much fun with these. Today I'm wearing the Cherry Cola shade on my cheeks and on my lips. So my lip combo today, the base is this, and then I topped it off with a Burt's Bees lip balm for this beautiful soft red lip. And when that balm wears down, I'm still going to have this beautiful color underneath, and the shade is Daisy in the balm. So that's my lip combo. And then on my cheeks, you know, my wash of color is this, and then I thought, wouldn't it be pretty if we just put a little bit of this Catrice Soft Glam Fake Blush and Midnight Berry on top of that. So I'm not wearing highlighter today, but I am wearing that blush on top of this overall sheared out color, and it just makes makeup fun. Like, I like to layer things up like that. I like to discover different combos. And you know, I didn't even put a lip liner on with it today. I was able to be neat enough with it just out of this tube. So I love the Cherry Cola. Soft red fans, people who like maybe a little bit of a toasty red, you're gonna like that. I also really love Plums Up. The other ones I own are the classic like Benetint dupe, the reddish one, which is called Left on Red. That one's great too. I should use that one more. And then I have a pink as well. This one's called Pink Positive. And the one I don't have, I guess, would be the peachy one. But my most used have turned out to be the Cherry Cola and the Plums Up. But so fun, lips and cheeks, creating something long wear, creating something weightless. It's like your long wearing secret under a tinted lip balm. Like, I look like I've got a full-on lip here, but it's an e.l.f. stain topped with a Burt's Bees lip balm. I love that. That's gonna take me through winter, that type of a combo. And what in the world was Benefit doing for so long? I know at this point point. Benefit is putting doe foot applicators in their Benetint, but why were they doing like a little nail polish style brush for a while on that product? It made it so unnecessarily difficult. Last category here, I'm almost a little sad for this all to wrap up now, but I created a category called Top Look of the Year. I've been doing this for several years now, and it's just kind of thinking back to all the videos I've done and like what was a tutorial that I really liked or thought turned out well or was just really fun to do. And I loved this past year doing the 80s soap opera look. I do watch Days of Our Lives, and there was an episode that flashed back to Bo and Hope's wedding, and I thought she looked like the most glamorous, beautiful bride ever. She's just facially so beautiful, but I loved the style of makeup that she had on. And I kind of like dropped this video idea in a random other video, and I said like, maybe I should do that. And then a little time went by, and I don't know if I just thought nobody'd be interested, but you know, when a thought just kind of keeps lingering, I thought, okay, I need to just do it because I personally want to do it, and I don't really care if anybody else comes to watch. I want to do this video so bad. So I did it, and that was fun, and I loved the way it turned out. And then another, maybe more practical video. This really didn't like pop off in views or anything. It was something I did more recently, but I just absolutely loved the outcome of this look, and it was the non-intimidating Rich Fall Get Ready With Me. I was wearing that leopard turtleneck, and the video had a lot of one-step products, so like a one-step kind of eye, one-step lip, one-step brow. It was like a really practical video, I thought. So good tips and good product recommendations for people to come away with, but I actually loved the way that look turned out. So those are my two favorites for Top Look of the Year. But yeah, guys, grab your coffee. Let's cheers to another year of Emily Awards. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting what I do. I am not worthy of the kind comments that I see under these different videos. Like, it's a total reflection of you guys as people, your kindness to care, to leave a nice thought under a video, to take actual time out of your days to turn one on. I've been doing this for a really long time. And when we're thinking about the internet and social media, like, we're used to seeing a person here taking off, a person there, like overnight sensation types of vibes with a lot of things. And that's not me, but it makes me all the more fascinated that I can be here after starting these awards in 2008 and still being here now and still having an audience. It totally fascinates me, you guys, and it's because of you and your kindness and your care to make watching my videos a part of your daily routine. Like, am I really sitting here crying with Santa Clauses on my headband? But when I just think about some of the things that you guys will tell me in the comments section, many of us share like whatever our current life struggle might be. And when you're in my comments section, I feel like that doesn't just go into thin air. I see it, other viewers see it, we support one another, we pray for one another, and this is just a really special place, a special little corner of the internet, and I thank you all for keeping it that way. So I guess I gotta stop talking eventually, right? Thank you guys again. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the Emily Awards, and guess what? I'll be back with more content soon. So I love you guys. Bye.